Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game, it can be a whole experience. Taking a new deck you've never played before, building it from the ground up, and making it your own to eventually compete in tournaments at the highest level is just so satisfying to me. To truly get the full, authentic Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience though, we're doing things the old-fashioned way. Our cards can only be obtained from inside a pack or by trading with fellow duelists. This time, we become the king of synchros. Welcome to Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly, Season 2. Aye. Subscribe. Let me tell you fellas, it is good to be back. Crusadia Dragon Link, Melfi Dogmatica Tri-Brigade, Keeper Branded Predaplants, every series we've managed to whip up something unique, and I am super excited to get started with this one. Last season was all about the fusion summoning, but this time, it's all about the synchros, baby. It ain't playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly if we don't lose to a D-barrier. As always, this first episode is about the structure decks that we start with, so let's go crack one of these open, run through the contents real quick, and see what we're working with here. Alright, the Crimson King Jack Atlas structure deck. It's interesting because the last 3 series that we've done, from our starting point, we've had to kind of figure out how to build our deck and where our deck is actually going to go, whereas with this one, you pretty much have a complete build off the bat, and your win condition is, of course, to build a big combo synchro board that your opponent just can't beat, and you have basically every card you need to do that in these structure decks. So there's definitely going to be a bigger focus on deck building and adapting our strategy so that we don't lose to hyper-specific cards. But we have an entire series to figure that out. For now, we have our starting point once I crack these open. But first, this pilot episode is sponsored by Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. Bloodline is a high-quality, free-to-play fantasy team RPG with a whole bunch of incredible features. The biggest example being one of its core mechanics, the ability to create new bloodlines from your existing champions. Take your strongest orc, marry it to your favorite succubus, and boom, you've just created one of over 4,000 hybrids. It takes both the traits and advantages of the previous champions and combines them into what should be a much stronger character. The possibilities are endless, but once you're done messing around with the family tree and coming up with your perfect team compilation, you can get stuck in with the gameplay, build up your own kingdom, defend it from everything, create your own story, and even fight against some epic bosses as well. But if PvP is more your thing, you can join a guild and compete in the seasonal guild wars to earn yourself uniquely designed hybrid champions called Bloodcraft Legends. The game is constantly getting updated, even with a completely new bloodline hybrid getting released every 2 weeks, and it's got some really nice graphics to it as well, especially if you're playing on mobile or smartpad. So if all of that tickles your fancy, I got a pretty juicy deal for you here. You can download the game now for free on both Android and iOS using the link in the description or the QR code on screen, and if you do so, you'll get a special starter pack worth $20 when you use my link. On top of that, the first 30 players who leave their in-game account ID and username in the comment section below will receive a free legendary female succubus champion, the Luxuriant. Have some fun with it, and thanks once again to Bloodline for sponsoring this video. Fun fact, there's no advertisements in this structure deck. I think this is the first structure deck with no advertisements at the back. Alright, so quickly going through our structure deck here, I will point out the good cards and the bad cards. Soul Resonator, very good card. 1-card combo in the deck with a really nice search effect. Vision Resonator, also really good. A search effect when it's sent to the grave, and it can special summon itself from hand. Red Dragon Archfiend, of course, the heart and soul of the deck. We can't play without it. Red Rising Dragon, also the heart and soul of the deck, because we play 3 of these, and it's not hard once per turn, and it is key to popping off. Everyone's King. I don't know why this isn't like a token, because we can't really use this for anything. Like, it can sit in the binder, I guess, but yeah, it would have been handy to be like a Nibiru token, I guess. I don't know. Red Supernova Dragon, very good boss monster, one of our key components on our end board. King Calamity, honestly, I don't think it's worth it. You can't make it on your opponent's turn unless you use Burning Soul, but you can't search Burning Soul. We can summon this on our opponent's turn in the future with something like Branded Etude, but I feel like if we are able to set up that synchro play with Branded Etude, at that point we're already winning the game anyway, so honestly, probably not even worth it in the long run. Scarred Dragon Archfiend, of course, key to some of our combos. Bone Archfiend, one of the best normal summons in our deck. The deck doesn't really have a whole lot of good normal summon engines. You're mostly just trying to find sort of like recursive synchro material, and this, you can normal summon it and then special summon it back. Pretty good. Part of a 2-card combo. Sad that it is only a common. Dark Resonator, we don't play this. It's not even a free special summon, so, you know, why would we? Creation Resonator, a lot of people don't play this. I play this because I'm playing Witch of the Black Forest, and it can come up as a key combo piece because you can just special summon it from your hand for free if you control a level 8 or higher synchro. Synchron Resonator, non-once per turn when it's sent from field to grave, add one of our Resonator monsters back from the graveyard. Really, really nice. Also, the one comes up when we are making our Abyss. Red Resonator, you already know, time, baby. Also, not a bad normal summon effect, so yeah, we do play this, at least in the side deck. We will see. Crimson Resonator is the best boy. Summon 2 from deck, of course, that is our key combo piece. Vice Dragon, we have a whole lot of sort of extenders and stuff in here that we're not really going to care about. So Battle Fader, you know, it's basically our only hand interruption, but it's not really worth playing because it's not achieving much, especially going second turn 1. Red Sprinter, Red Warg, yeah, we don't play any of these. Wandering King Wildwind, however, very, very good card. Non-once per turn, inherent summon from the hand, and has a great search effect in graveyard as well, turn 2 or 3 or whatever. Hydride, we got Moonstar, Backjack. You could maybe play this in some weird builds, but as of right now, not worth it. Assault mode, the assault package isn't really worth it either because you want to set up your synchros with Crimson Resonator. Get into Red Rising Dragon without Crimson Resonator in the graveyards just isn't really achieving a whole lot on its own. So the assault mode package, honestly, I don't think is worth it right now. And then we have Fire Ant Ascator and Ascator Dawnwalker. This allows you to make a Synchro 8, which is cool, but it doesn't really blend with the rest of the deck like Supay does. They gave us the wrong walker, okay? I don't know why they did that. Danger Nessie and Danger Chupacabra. We were struggling for level 4 extenders, so Chupacabra was an option. And then we have Witch of the Black Forest, which is unironically a decent normal summon in this deck because a lot of our Resonators are inherent summons. We have Absolute Power Force. I believe this is the name of Red Dragon Archfiend's attack. It's also the name of a set from the 5Ds era. You can search this, you can play this, but honestly, don't really think it's worth it. Crimson Gaia, another 1-card combo, really, really nice. Resonator Engine, adding 2 Resonators from grave, honestly, requires too much setup to play this. Probably not worth it. Resonator Call, not a hard once per turn. Add 1 Resonator monster from your deck to your hand. Why would you not play this? Resonator Command, also incredible. You have enough Resonators in the deck to just search any piece that you need. And you can also play around Droll and stuff with this. So I would say this is a mandatory 3 of. Very, very good card. And then Burning Soul, this is how you synchro summon on your opponent's turn. But unsearchable, not gonna happen, not worth it. Pot of Extravagance. In my original Structure Decks profile, I did include the Extravagances in the main deck, but I had a funny instance while playtesting where I Extraved, banished 3, banished all 3 Red Rising Dragon, and then I just couldn't play. So yeah, I've decided to not play Extravagance in this deck. Should have been Pot of Prosperity. That's the only sort of pot that makes sense. Extrav is just way too big of a gamble when we are relying on the extra deck. Fiendish Golem, one of our generic interruptions, really nice card. Also searchable. Red Zone, also one of the best cards in our deck, allowing us to summon back Supernova Dragon for free and also get a pop when we have RDA on the field. King Synchro, Red Rain. A lot of people do like Red Rain, but because it's an unsearchable trap card, it's a little bit too unreliable for me. Time to Stand Up. Fiendish Chain, of course, we can search Fiendish Chain with the Fiendish Column. It is also just a really nice generic trap card that we can play due to the lack of staples in the structure deck. Powerful Rebirth, Assault Mode, activate both, just kind of not really worth it. Terrors of the Overroot is a very nice trap card interruption similar to Fiendish Chain. We do play this at least in the side deck, but I think I will be playing it in the main deck. And then we have the rest of our synchros here. Scarlight, very nice. Abyss, very nice as well. Bane, definitely worth playing for now. And then Red Nova Dragon, not really worth it. All right, so that is the contents of the deck. Like I said, you basically get everything you need to spit out some crazy synchro combo boards. That does, however, require the other 2 copies of the structure deck. So let's go crack these open and put together our first deck list for locals and see if we can take home the dub in the very first episode. Let's do it, baby. Okay, we are all sleeved up and here with what I believe to be the most powerful, most consistent, and strongest list we could possibly have with 3 structure decks. We are going to run through this really quickly, but if you do want a more in-depth look at some of the plays you can make and some of the combos in the deck, go watch the original structure deck profile video. This list is very slightly different, and we will go through the main combo in this episode just so everything's in the one place. However, if you want a more in-depth look, go watch the original structure deck video and you will get more of an understanding for what we're going with here. But getting into the list, I kid you not, so consistent, man. Literally every single hand is near enough full combo, 4, 5, 6 interruptions. Let's get into it. So, of course, 3 Crimson Resonators, special 2 Resonators from deck. When we resolve this, we are cooking. 3 Soul Resonator, it is a 1-card combo, so, you know, one of the strongest normal summons in the deck on its own. We have 3 Vision Resonator, 3 Boners, 3 Wandering King Wildwind, and 3 Witch of the Black Forest, because Witch is full combo alongside Crimson or any of the searchers for Crimson. And then rounding off our monster lineup, we have 2 Synchron Resonators, 1 Red Resonator, and 1 Creation Resonator. For the spells, literally all searchers, we have 3 Resonator Call, 3 Crimson Gaia, and 3 Resonator Command. You always want to do this in the draw phase, depending on the rest of your hand, so that way you can play around draw. But search a level 4 or lower Fiend monster. You can search Boner, or you can search any of the Resonators. So literally just adds any piece that you're missing, and the combos are 2-card combos. So it's really, really consistent. Then for the traps, like I said, we cut the extravagance, and so I wanted more sort of guaranteed interruptions in the deck. So we have gone for triple Fiendish Chain, which isn't once per turn, thankfully. Triple Towers of the Overroot. Double Fiendish Golem. This also isn't once per turn, and it's searchable, but it is a little bit more situational than the other two. And then, of course, we round everything off with our Red Zone. Like, I kid you not, this is hands down the best list you could be playing with 3 structure decks. It goes so hard, and I will show you the combo that I speak of. But first, we have our extra deck, nothing too special here. 3 Red Rising, 2 Red Dragon Archfiend, 2 Scar Dragon Archfiend, 2 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, 2 Abyss, 2 Supernova, and 2 Bane. Basically just 2 of all the ones that are actually worth playing, except for Red Rising, which is 3, because it's not hard once per turn, and it's a really good card. And then for the side deck, obviously our deck is geared for going first, because we have literally no going second cards available in the structure deck, which is unfortunate. Probably one of the things we're going to have to focus on going forward in this series. But we do have 3 Ascator, Dawnwalker, and a Fire Ant Ascator. So we can side out some of the traps and put in these for going second. It does threaten a early Scarlight, which at least forces out an interruption or 2, allowing us to then play with the rest of our engines. I do have the 3 X-Trap in the side deck. I don't know why, like, we have space in the side, so, you know, I felt like game 3, maybe if I wanted to guarantee that I would see a combo piece, I could just chuck this in, go for the gamble. We have 2 Danger Chupacabra again for going second. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever side these in, to be honest. And then the 3rd Fiendish Golem, because why not?
Yo, like the video.
This list is a very strong starting point for a series like this, because it already has some sick combos available, and you're about to see exactly what I mean. Alright, here we go. The combo of the deck, setting up our strongest board fairly quickly and fairly simply. We are going to do this with just the Bone Archfiend and the Crimson Resonator. There's many different ways to get to this board, but this is the quickest and simplest. So activate Crimson Resonator to special summon itself, and we're going to normal summon the Boner here. Synchro 4+2 into our first 6, that's Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising Dragon is going to summon back the Crimson Resonator, and then we're going to activate Crimson Resonator, summoning out Soul Resonator and the Vision Resonator. Now, Soul Resonator triggers on summon to search for a level 4 or lower Fiend. We are going to search the Synchron Resonator here, just so that we can special summon it and immediately synchro into the Red Supernova Dragon. So we are going to use a Vision, Synchron, and Soul. That's 6. 3 tuners plus 6 is 12. That's going to summon out our first Red Supernova Dragon. Triggering our chain links here, Vision is going to search for a spell or trap, and Synchron is going to add back the Vision from graveyard to hand. So we add this back, and off of the Vision effect, we search for Crimson Gaia. We then activate the Crimson Gaia and activate the effect to search for a Red Zone here. And then we can go ahead and activate our Boner in the graveyard, sending Crimson Gaia to the grave for cost to special summon itself back. With this line, we don't actually need to use the second effect of Boner. We can just immediately go 4+2 into a second Red Rising Dragon, and the effect is going to trigger target in the Synchron Resonator, because we have a 2-tuner in hand. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus the 1 will be 9 for our Abyss. We do control a level 5 or higher Dark Monster, so we can special summon the Vision from hand. Like I said, 2 plus 6 is 8. And 8 plus 1 is 9 for our Abyss there as well. Chain links, Scarred and Synchron are going to trigger. Scarred is going to summon Red Dragon Archfiend from the extra deck, and Synchron is going to add back Vision Resonator, because that is our best option to add back currently. You do not want to add back Soul Resonator, because then you'll blow up your own board with Red Dragon Archfiend. From there, we just set the red zone, and we have 4 interruptions, banishing our opponent's entire field twice, because this banishes itself and then red zone summons it back, and it's not once per turn, so it can just banish itself again. We have an Omni Negate, so we don't care about things like evenly matched. We can play around things like Dark Ruler. If our opponent goes Dark Ruler, we can chain Red Zone and then chain Abyss, target the Dark Ruler. And then because we control Red Dragon Archfiend as well, whenever our opponent activates a card or effect, we have an additional pop on the red zone. So uninterrupted, if we are able to set up, then we are most likely gonna win. But of course, we are vulnerable to things that we just can't play around, like D-Barrier, Super Poly on this board. You can get rid of these two. We do still have a pop, but yeah, that's it. Nibiru completely destroys us. It's basically like Season 1 all over again. Super Poly and Nibiru, man, the banes of our existence. So going forward, we'll need to figure out how best to play around those options. So just to show you how consistent that is, getting that full combo board requires seeing one of these 6 cards plus one of these 6 cards, but Resonator Command also subs in as either piece. And because our deck is basically full gas, we're essentially always going to see access to that. Like, you can even make that full board with just Soul Resonator plus like 2 extenders, essentially. This would also be full combo. So yeah, if you're going uninterrupted, you're basically always setting up that board unless you see a really, really bad hand. All seems good on paper. Now it's time to test it for real. Let's take it to locals, baby. The first feature match of the series here at Geek Retreat Aberdeen goes to Hunter, playing his Scrap Orchist. We do win the die roll, so that's a nice start, and it's time to duel. I'm gonna go first.
Really?
Time started.
Good luck, happy fish.
Have some fun. Draw phase.
Sure.
Resonator Command, discard a Resonator for cost.
Go ahead.
Virtual search, Crimson Resonator. Back to special summon. Normal summon. 4 plus 2. Makes a 6. Effect, target Crimson. Effect.
Not with it.
Effect on summon, search level 4 lower fiends.
Sure.
Second dragon. 1 plus 3 plus 2 is 6 plus 6 is 12. For chain 1, search a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. Chain 2, target this, add it back.
Sure.
Activate. Effect, search a card that mentions RDA.
Oh, that one you've been.
Effect of Boner, summon for cost, special summon itself back.
Yes.
4 plus 2. Take a 6. Effect, target the level 1 engrave. Special summon.
Not once per turn.
Nope. It's pretty good. Because I control level 5 or higher dark, special summon. 2 plus 6. Take an 8. 8 plus 1. Take a 9. We go effect. Summon Red Dragon Archfiend from the extra deck.
Yeah, technically he should attack because
You go to sleep. Good. Set 1 pass. Well, actually, wait. End phase. Mandatory effect. Blows up all my monsters. I'll protect this dude.
Draw for me.
Yeah.
Stand by me.
Guard.
yeah, that's fine.
Effective Lion. Summon a Goat.
I'll chain. Banish every card you control.
I will.
Face up or face down?
Face up. And that resolves, so you get your... On resolution, I'll activate.
Yep.
And I'll activate effect of someone's back.
Sure. Let's go tactics stick.
Chain target balance.
Effect targeting himself.
Chain. Banish everything you control.
Let's go game 2. Yeah, nothing I can do there. Alright, I'll go first.
Cool. Good luck, gamer.
Good luck. Alright, stand by me. We'll start off by sending 1.
Okay.
We'll go scrap turn. Scrap turn from deck down.
Normal summon.
Normal
effect for this card.
Tempt effect targeting himself.
Yar.
Start the fusion.
We'll go back to search. Lord and Savior. Second normal. Go effective to deck. Let's go align effects.
Yar.
Make a light token.
Yar.
We'll go effective target recycle. Go effective search. Summon from the deck even.
Bridge.
Try this.
When I pick up a card, I destroy the card effects. I'm going to go to the grave. Right now.
Let's go live again. You know me too well.
That's crazy.
Activate target. Golem, summon, recycler effects.
Yep.
Just in case you're gonna sign up.
Like these. Nightmare target. Let's go with it.
Yep.
Let's go effective world one. Let's target nightmare.
Yeah.
Galatea. Let's go Galatea effect to shuffle this. Just to shake things up. Skeleton target nightmare. Ding. 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 Fetch.
Yep.
I
Suffer the
I forgot
consequences.
to bring a mat with me. Activate that one.
Oh, he has everything.
Set one faster.
Go stand by me. Resonator. Add a Resonator monster. I will add Crimson Resonator. Attack the special.
Chain hammer.
Fucking ruthless. Effect of Resonator command. Discard Crimson for cost. Search a level 4 or lower fiend. Normal summon. Effect. Add a level 4 or lower fiend monster.
Game vanish.
Resonator top. I will add a Vision Resonator. Activate one Archfiend. Send Vision Resonator to create for cost. Special summon this monster.
No, you should always
Effects of Sent to Grave. Add a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend.
Yep.
Set one. Proceed to end
When you
phase.
fall asleep,
In end phase, let's go skeleton effects. Target ding.
fell asleep. Practically almost fell asleep.
Ding.
Yeah, I know.
I saw you see me fall asleep.
Drop it in.
Yep.
One normal.
This is what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be right. Fuck a little ball sword, man. Good luck, Gamer.
Good luck.
Draw phase. Resonator command. Discard for cost.
Go ahead.
Crimson. Stand by main. Effect special. Normal summon. 4 plus 2 makes a 6 mandatory effect trailing 1, trailing 2, target crimson.
Sure.
Special and search. Creation. Effect summon 2 through 11. Wow. You love to see it. Effect can summon. I will activate one Archfiend, discarding for cost. Special summon. Effect target himself. Increase or decreases level by 1 and Sandy Fiend Tuner from deck to grave.
Sure.
Send Vision. Vision effect, add a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend. Add Crimson Gaia. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6 plus 6 is 12 for Supernova. Sync one effect, target vision to add back.
Sure.
Special summon creation. 3 plus 3 is another 6. Effect of this, targeting the level 1.
Sure.
Nope. Special summon. Control level 5 or higher dark. Special summon. 3 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. I'll go chain 1, chain 2. Synchronize by vision. Discard summons Arch A. Activate Crimson Gaia. Effect. Add a spell, any card that mentions RDA. Fiendish Golem. Set 1. Set 2.
It's his own field.
Proceed to end phase.
Yep.
Blow up my own board. 10.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Anything in standby.
How did you get so good?
That and that.
Guys happened 3 matches today so far.
Normal summon. Temple.
I will just chain red zone but not activate any effects.
Cool. Is that a recycler okay to go through?
Yeah.
Send Ola in and attempt to win.
Just so that you are aware, if a monster on the field is destroyed by battle card effect, I can reborn a Red Dragon Archfiend. Just so you know.
Let's go Wyvern's effect. We'll just go for it.
Chain target. Oh.
Let's attempt to nightmare target for a second. Let's go world ones.
Well, not anymore. I saw them.
Galatea.
Galatea.
Let's attempt Galatea's effects.
Sure.
Set. Yes, so there's a cut if you like. So draw 2.
Yar.
Droplet.
So effects to send. Red Dragon Archer.
Doesn't target.
Doesn't target, no.
Chain Fiendish Gold, target deck. End of activate this card while I control Red Dragon Archery, I can set Fiendish Chain from the deck or graveyard. Set this. And then Ding Resolves doesn't target, so you can send whatever.
We'll send Red Dragon Archer. Yes.
Yard.
I'll set one. And I'll pass turn.
Draw for turn? Summon main?
Yep.
Okay, effect search. That's kind of cool. Normal summon? Effect of Boner Engrave, sending cost. Gaia to special summon himself back.
So battle and kill them.
4+2. Make Red Rising. Go chain 1, target Crimson, chain 2 to add a spell or trap.
You're making the adamant of your servers.
Effect, summon 2 from deck. Deck at a level 4 lower field.
Not a main dash.
4 plus 2. I do not have another. Well, shit.
So long as you can
Plus 1, 2, 6. Red Supernova Dragon. Effects to add back a Resonator. I'll add back Vision. Tempt Battle Phase. Attack for 7 hit.
Sure.
Main 2. Put in game if I summon to an attack.
Reverse.
Set 1, set 2. End phase, Ding returns.
Feel like a fun.
It's not summoned, is it? It just returns.
No, it just returns.
So main phase 1.
Yep.
Go Nightmare target.
Sure.
Skeleton in the grave. Skeleton target Galatea.
Chain Supernova. On resolution of a red zone effect, summon back Supernova.
Sure. Let's go big thing. Thing effect to send out. What year is this? Let's go world. Normal summon.
Chain Supernova.
Fucking hell, man.
We did have to work for it after getting super polyed, but we did manage the dub, and that was the final round of locals. Round 1 we played against Alex on Evil Eye, and we did lose that match because he was just able to put up boards that we weren't able to break through, and he won the dice roll, so you know, he was going first game 1 and he went first game 3, we just couldn't break it. Also, we got super polyed in game 2, again. Round 2 we played against Sam on Adventure Dogmatica, and after being the Beerud in game 3, we were about to lose the match, but time got called a couple of seconds before Sam went to the battle phase, and we were ahead on life thanks to Red Resonator. Finally, rounding off locals, we played against Kami on his blind second Shadal Dogmatica Chimera deck. Unsurprisingly, we got super polyed again, but we did squeak out the 2-0 dub here. Fiendish Chain on Baphomet and then Fiendish Chain on Ecclesia is GG, man. Overall, this gives us a 3-1 record and a 5th place finish for our first episode with just 3 structure decks. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. Alright, new format, new series, and we're off to a brilliant new start. Getting 3-1 at our very first locals with just the 3 structure decks, and we have our prize packs. 1 Duelist Nexus, 1 OTS 22. As you can tell from the sound of my voice, I'm also ill right now. And I've realized I need to buy another binder if we're going to have another trade binder going. But I believe no ultis were pulled at locals, so we started with an early Zeus in Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly Season 1. Can we start off with another early ulti in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly Season 2. I think that would be hilarious. Also crazy that we ran into like all of our hard counters, things like Super Poly, D-Barrier, Nibiru. Really takes me back to the Dragon days. But yeah, let's see if we can start off with some absolute bangers in our prize packs here. I think the first card we need is a Bestial Dispatter, and that is not a cheap card anymore. So probably gonna crack into Cyberstorm Access in the next episode, but let's see if we get any goo that we can use to trade off in this one. So, Duelist Nexus, we have Click and Echo, Cornfield Kotal, the Cuckoo commanded to Croon, we have Synchro World, a trap card in the hollow slot, don't think it's anything, you're finished, bro. That's what we were saying to most of our opponents. Let's go. Altergeist, Pearly, Daidara, and the Tower of the Necro World. Okay, OTS 22. Can we get anything from our first OTS prize pack here? We have a Summon Limit common. That's pretty good. That's we could actually use this in our deck, dude. We could put this in our side deck. That's hilarious. We have a Noble Knight Boars, and it doesn't look like we have an ulti. We have Unchained Abomination. Yo, that's actually, I didn't know that was a super in the set. That's kind of cool. Might actually be able to trade this off because, you know, Unchained is a very good deck right now. Might have some value to it. Who knows? Honestly, decent pools for what we could have got. And all round, good start to the series.